And all right, hello everyone. This is our weekly call for governance security policies. First weekly call after realignment, so our team is a little bit bigger now. We don't have anything to discuss today. So nothing, nothing to discuss in terms of like product changes or anything like that. I would like just to use that time to just say hello and welcome to everyone that joined us. I wanted to ask each of you to say just a few words about yourself, even if you're like a new team member or already joined the team. And that's the first thing I want to start with. So I'm going to start with myself. My name is Alan Paruszewski. I'm based in Sopot, Poland, in Central Europe. I used to be staff backend engineer for container security team and threat insights before that, and others. Right now, I'm interim engineering manager, soon to be engineering manager without the prefix. And yeah, if you need anything, let me know. If you can read more about me in my README file, and that's it. Maybe Grant, you can be next.
Sure, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be joining the security policies team. I've been a PM at GitLab for, I guess, roughly nearly a year and a half. I'm coming over from the integrations team, where we were working on our Slack integration and some of the Jira integrations. But yeah, looking forward to join the team. I don't know if I have much else to share today, but we'll have plenty to share in the future.
All right.
Look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Sam, you want to be next?
Sure, I'm Sam White. I'm the group product manager for Govern. I previously was also the PM for this group, so I'm in the process of transitioning that over to Grant.
Alrighty, thank you. Sashi?
Yeah, I'm Sashi. I'm originally based out of in Chennai, India. Currently, I'm living in Netherlands and Amsterdam. So I'm working as a backend engineer with the security policies team. Back then, it was container security. I'm almost here for about 2 years now. So yeah, excited to have you all here.
Hey, Sashi. So I used to actually work with a group of engineers in Chennai in my last
great.
role. So, and I've actually visited. I've been to Chennai once, so we'll have lots to talk about.
That's awesome. And also Bala, he's from Chennai, so maybe he can go
cool.
next.
Great.
Yeah, then I'll go next, probably going with that flow. So I'm Bala. I've been with GitLab for the last 1 year and 7 months. I'm coming over from the release team. Yeah, like we discussed, I'm from Chennai and I live with my family here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, hi, my name is Dominik Bauer. I'm based in the north of Germany, and I've also been in security policies, and before that I was in container scanning as well. Looking forward to work with you guys.
Great. Okay, thank you all. We have more engineers coming to our team. We should have like 3 more backend, 1 more frontend, and 1 full stack engineer joining next week. So our team will be much bigger than it used to be, because it used to be like only 3 people. Now it is 9. So yeah, it's really amazing to see that growth, but also it's a huge challenge for all of us. Okay. I wanted to ask you about our planning issue. I already created that a week ago. If you have any concerns, anything like that. I know this month is a little bit slower because we're doing this whole transition. Some people still have open MRs in previous groups, so they will finish them that soon. I just wanted to make sure that we're aware of what we want to deliver in this milestone, which is one thing is like a technical debt that we want to pay off. That was a result of our FCL. Like some time ago, we're in FCL process, so feature change log, and we had to stop for a minute and decide how we would like to improve the performance of the scheduled policies. So that's one of the epic included in the agenda. Maybe I can quickly share my screen. And the second thing is this epic support role-based approval action. So I know that frontend is more or less finished. We are waiting for a few backend improvements and changes there, but it's also our goal to release at this milestone, and also continue to roll off the feature flag for license approval policies. So there are like lots of things, lots of different features that we'd like to deliver in next milestone. So I just want to make sure that we're all aware of that. Okay. All right. So as you know, if you've been in the group for some time, we haven't been using this call a lot since we're already collaborating asynchronously. So we usually ended up as having a coffee chat instead of having like a group call. And then we decided, okay, let's do it bi-weekly because it makes more sense. As we have Grant, as we have more people joining our team, I wanted to change it to be weekly call and see if there's anything that we need to discuss in terms of like the product or technical decisions or anything like that. So that will be our opportunity to do it. If there'll be nothing to work on and nothing to discuss, that would be great because we can leave it as a coffee chat for all of us, or we can just do it bi-weekly and just talk when it's their need to talk. So that would be great. All right. That's all. There are 2 read-only items that we don't have to talk about right now. You can read it in the agenda. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I'll raise a question just as I'm kind of getting up to speed. I've been trying to get a better sense of the plans on changing the name of the scan result policies to, I think it's merge request approval policy. So I wanted to get a better sense of, is that decision completed? Is that a priority? And maybe that's more for Sam, but that was something I was reserving to ask you, Sam, but maybe it would be a good one for the group here. Are we planning on making these changes in like within the next milestone along with some other changes, or are we still discussing that?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's not slated for this milestone, so the priority I think is still a little bit to be determined. We'll probably want to do that before some of the other items in our priority list. Like once we add in, I know Camelia has been working through the designs for all of that, but once we do change what's currently a scan result policy to be able to select any merge request instead of just license scanning or security scanning, that's really the point where we're going to want to consider renaming that because it no longer only applies to scan results. It's going to apply really to any security merge request approval type. So if you're like, are you thinking about changing the name, like instead of merge request approval policy, or are you just wondering like when is that scheduled for? Because it's not really scheduled right now at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of both because it looked like as we're going through some of these designs, that I was wondering if it was kind of being lumped into the designs and some of the planning. So yeah, just trying to get a better sense of like timeline of when that change happens, and then I am trying to understand some of the decisioning around how we name it because it seems like it could be as generic as security policy approval or security approval policy, however we want to say it, or it could be merge request approval policy. But yeah, I just want to kind of make sense of that and like what our customers will be seeing and how it applies to their workflows. Because as I was reading through it, I was also wondering if code review approval might be more aligned with kind of the step in the process. They're doing implementing or requiring approvals in the code review step, and then are there other steps where we might use different terminology, or is this generic in that the future plans will roll under security approvals and we should use maybe where we're like the term that we're leading towards, so maybe even more generic than merge request approval if there's a potential for approvals to happen outside of the merge request flow or code review process, if that makes sense. So yeah, just trying to wrap my head around all the possible areas approvals could happen, where these security policies get enforced, and then just the terminology that we're using.
Yeah, those are all good questions and good things to think through. So right now, it's inside of this overarching epic. of allow compliance enforcement of security policies. And right now the whole thing is still in design, so it's definitely not finalized yet. Like there certainly is room to change that. The way the scans or the way the policies work right now, it really only applies to merge requests. I think there are going to be places where we may want to have policies apply outside of merge requests, but it's not likely to follow the same format. So for example, we might have some sort of push rule that says, reject all pushes that have certain secret, critical or higher secret detection scans run, or, we might reject things on push, we might reject things on deploy into production. But GitLab as a whole doesn't have like a great approval workflow for those sorts of things. And so it would be really hard for that to fit into the current policy set. Maybe you can get it to fit in. I don't know. You probably will need to consider a different policy type for those things, but those are good questions to ask. So yeah, it's definitely not finalized. You can still change the name. If there's another name that you think is better besides merge request approval policy. And then as far as timeline, I don't think we actually have this epic in our list, in our priorities list. I'm not quite sure.
I believe it's the last one.
Yeah, let's see. So this one is related to that. This one is related to that. I think this one is related to that. Yeah, so you think it's at the end? Right, it's at the end. So this definitely needs to move up because this should be a prerequisite to number 10 here. So
And
like
that's one of the questions I had too. I was looking through the priority list and seeing it at the bottom, yet we're talking about it in designs right now. And it does seem tied to some others. So yeah, maybe just kind of reordering that is what we need.
Yep, we will want to reorder that and make sure that that comes before. Some of these things we can do independently of that change, but we will want to do that before this item right here, for sure.
Okay. And so when it comes to the UX, should we also kind of batch the UX for the independent effort, like the engineering effort that will not include the change to the name? Like, so I think in some cases we'll see like here are a lot of changes happening. Here's all the UX in one epic. But then, it may not be time to implement the name change. So maybe we need to like, I don't know, just increment the designs to make sure we know what we're focusing on.
Yeah, so we've been doing our design a little bit differently compared to the rest of the organization in the secure and protect stages. So we've been doing our designs in what we call UX themes. And that's to allow the designer to design more comprehensively. Instead of just thinking about one little change at a time, it allows them to think about the entire experience and make sure that that all works together. And then once this UX theme issue is done, then that's when Camellia will go and split it out across all of these so that the relevant designs for each iteration are on each individual epic, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Then that will work.
So yeah, we have basically this overarching epic, and then it's split out into each individual iteration that we can release independently. Because yeah, like I said, some of these changes don't have anything to do with that name change, and so we can make this independently, and eventually it kind of all ties together. But yeah, those designs will get split out across all of these epics.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes more sense. Thanks.
Right. If there's nothing else, thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.